Staghorn coral is an amazing and beautiful species of coral. However, it recently has been facing multiple problems. Staghorn coral is magnificent as it pulls in CO2 from the atmosphere. It helps save the planet from humans and it provides homes to fish, along with other marine wildlife, while providing amazing views to those who care enough to take a look below the surface of the ocean. So let's take a plunge and explore the reefs.
A big threat to coral is when people take large fishing nets and drag them across the ocean floor in hopes of catching fish that live near the sea floor, a technique called bottom trawling. These nets, however, have destroyed the homes of fish and killed all kinds of coral, and a very predominant species of that coral is staghorn coral.
As humans destroy the planet, 12.7 million tons of plastic are dumped into the ocean each year. These plastics drift onto the surface of the water, blocking out large portions of the sunlight from reaching the ocean floor, thus starving the coral of nutrients provided by the sun. Hundreds of coral die due to plastic polluting the waters and preventing coral from obtaining nutrients from the sun.
When the water that the coral is in warms up, the coral releases algae. This stresses the coral and it can die more easily, which is called bleaching. This had led to over 100 corals dying each year. Since staghorn coral is also affected by this, they can no longer perform their primary function of forming coral reefs, leading to the mass extinction of coral.
As climate change runs its course, it pushes the water temperature to heights and lows that coral are not used to and puts coral to death.
Climate change has been occurring because of the increased output of CO2 into Earth's atmosphere. CO2, which is a greenhouse gas, absorbs the light radiation from the sun that is being reflected off of the surface of the Earth as infrared radiation, and then re-radiates the heat onto the Earth. This has many effects, but since coral has failed to adapt to its new environment, climate change is taking out great swaths of coral reefs.
Coral reefs are part of a very delicate ecosystem. As more carbon is put into the atmosphere, the salt levels and chemical compounds are changed in the water. This harms and displaces the fish that coral eat. When coral don't have access to food, they become stressed and die.
There are many simple ways to help, such as recycling. Many corals are damaged by plastic pollution in the ocean, and by cutting down on plastic waste, you're also reducing the amount of plastic in the ocean, meaning there is less coral being damaged by plastic pollution. Plastics also can deprive coral of vital nutrients, so it is very important to cut down on how much plastic there is in the ocean. You can also help by donating 4Ocean bracelet at www.4ocean.com, or you can donate to the World Wildlife Fund at support.worldwildlife.org.